Hello, everyone. I'm Alex,
Hello, I'm Mariela.
and we are here today on July 15th. The big Mars-Uranus conjunction is today. We've been feeling it on both sides of time, so we'll feel it in the next few days, but also the last few days. So we're here to talk about the energy for June. We're not in June. The energy for July. Energy for the rest of July. Um, and we're going to talk about some astrology and energy that we've been hearing about and do some intuitive card pulling. And Mariela, you have just like this amazing talent and
I
ability.
was just telling you that it's also because you inspire me, because you have this incredible talent as well.
Mm.
So I can connect my ideas through your ideas.
Okay. And we work together well. Yay.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, we have this huge conjunction today. And Mars, anytime Mars does something, it's intense. And then you throw Uranus, it's intense. You throw it in Taurus with that like stability. You have chaos, but the house that wants stability.
They are feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know I've been feeling it today, but I also am about to enter into the last stage of my cycle. So, you know, that does that
Yeah,
too.
I have been through some stuff too. But yeah, I'm waiting to see if there's more to this.
hmm I don't know. Your schooling has really been pushing you. So, for Mariela,
Yeah.
a lot of things come up in your learning and education, and being able to communicate your thoughts and ideas
Yeah.
and is huge.
Yes, so that studying doesn't come easy for me for the most part.
Mm,
I can get it is easier in Spanish too.
yeah.
So doing it in English is different and more challenging.
hmm
Like I will have to, well, I get nervous doing presentations in general, but in English, I get very self-conscious.
hmm
And I'll have to start doing more of that. So we were talking about how Uranus and Mars, no, sorry, Uranus and Mars in Taurus is going to affect each of us.
hmm
And for me personally, it looks like it lands on my third house, which is about communication.
hmm
And Alex, I also have Chiron in it, the same as you.
Yeah.
Well, you have it in another house, but we have Chiron right on the house where Mars and Uranus are together in Taurus.
hmm
So the other part is it's supposed to last, and like this energy lasts until 2026. I feel like I have still a lot to work on.
Well, they
And it's
say
not
whatever is,
easy.
I think, being initiated now,
Yes.
that's like this is like a starting point or a just an igniting or a deeper awareness of, or then, and that will continue to unfold. Is that correct? That
Thank
what
you.
I
You see, that's my challenge. Right there. I'm like, can it be easier to for me to have clear thoughts with a clear pattern in
Mm,
a linear way instead of having these feelings, emotions, understandings, and knowledge all at the same time inside of me and not being able to put it together in a normal sentence?
yeah. I know. I
I'm
feel like
going to turn on the light.
the school systems, they talk about again and again how we need to be more inclusive and we need to like change things. Like we know study shows that that's not the best way to like writing isn't the only way to know what people know and all that kind of stuff. There's so many other ways, but we just keep staying with the old system.
Well, we are ending the old system, but you know what I discovered recently
Mhm.
that I'd never thought of
Yeah.
until now. No scientist has discovered a word in anybody's head. Like there's no proof of it, but we all know there's words in our heads.
Oh, like,
Like there's no connection of any part of the brain where you can say, here's the word,
mm,
here's where we talk. It's like an area that is specialized, maybe that turns on when we're communicating,
mm,
but they haven't found like, here's a word, right?
mm. Well, would that be in like the speech center?
Hmm.
Would that be in like the,
Yeah, it should be in the speech center,
but I think what I'm,
but you like there's no connection that words generate there. Like the actual
oh
you
yeah,
don't see them.
yeah, no, nothing. It's just a whole bunch of, I don't know. It's so weird, but it's just these weird impulses and waves and synapses and like, that's
And you
all.
know what else I discovered about myself?
Mm,
That um when things don't make sense to me,
mhm.
it's harder for me to talk about it.
Mm, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
have been struggling a little bit with communication and just becoming aware of some things.
Hmm.
How's
Yeah,
your energy, Alex?
yeah. I've been well, my energy right in this moment is tired, but I feel like I said to my counselor the other week, I'm like, I just don't feel like I have a life. And she's like, "What does that mean, Alex?" Right? And just like, "Oh, I feel like everybody's doing things and I'm not doing anything." But I also like I just don't know what I'd want to do and there's just things I don't want to do on my own and um so that idea of what like first of all, who am I? What do I actually like and want? And then how do I find bits of joy and pleasure and um creativity? Like a lot of those things kind of get blocked by too much social media, so I'm really working on ending that. And you have to hold it up for just a little bit longer to get it to happen. Oh no.
Happens only for you.
Oh, maybe just because mine's more updated, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
another brand.
No, no. It doesn't have to do with what type of computer you have. It's the
It's a
update.
Zoom thing.
Zoom, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so really recognizing this these parts of me that like these aren't unfamiliar parts, but they're very strong parts. And especially since COVID, like just my life kind of turning upside down, that these pieces are new pieces for me to discover. And it's very confusing, um, and hard. Yeah. What do I want? I don't know. What do I want to do? I don't know. I'm gonna go hang out at the park. Okay.
You
So
just
yeah, that's an area that's being hit up for me. So when we looked at the houses and just saw that, I'm like, oh yes, that would be a truth. That would definitely be a truth. But when we look at like the Taurian energy, And we were kind of talking about that beforehand. Um, the idea of wealth. So wealth, resources, value,
Land.
yeah, the earth, right? Like actual material resources are all governed under Taurus. And so that's something that's being shook right now is like, so Uranus is explosive, Mars can be explosive, and it's shaking up Taurus. So all those pieces again are getting shooken up, just like they were shooken up in 2020 with that big conjunct. And they're kind of getting another shakeup. I can't wait until it like continues to move past Taurus, all this stuff, but it is asking us to look at these very important pieces of our lives or our values and beliefs around these things. So yeah, I definitely um am aware of those aspects of things too. I mean, there's so many things. There's so much up right now, Mariella. There's so much up everyone.
Yeah, there is a lot of things going on. And it seems like, how we have all this communication. I am not sure what's happening with Gemini and that, but it just feels like there's a lot of information or information coming out
Mm,
from different places at the same time more.
yeah.
Because I know that we have had technology for a while with social media and all that stuff,
Mhm.
but it just feels like here's one thing, here's another thing, here's another thing, here's another thing.
It
And
feels
for
darker.
me, is like, I don't want to know right now. I need a break.
Hmm.
I know these and I mean, I hear this because I need it, but I don't need to know it all.
Yeah. I feel like a big thing that we can all really look at over the next few months is how much social media, like what content are we consuming? What is shaping our reality? Because that is the truth, that what we're consuming and believing by what we consume is shaping our reality and how we see it and how we work with it and all that stuff. So how can we be more protective or because it's like they say like on average people use like 5 hours a day social media, 5 hours a day. And so imagine what you could do with that other 5 hours, with that 5 hours, you know? You could be
For
sleeping,
that.
need more
Mhm.
rest, right?
You could talk to people,
You could talk to the people you
basically,
phone.
or
Yeah,
meditate and have a mental break.
yeah. Could do something enjoyable and creative, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we're heading there a little bit too. With this conjunction right now that is marking the start of something, then we are looking at, like Alex was saying, Uranus is explosive, gives surprises, sparkles, like explosions.
mhm,
Um, and Mars is has to do with war, with independence,
mhm,
with confidence.
mhm. The masculine.
And it's in Taurus. And so there is going, it feels like there should be a shakeup, right?
Hmm.
Someone on one of the YouTube channels was saying that just imagine if you're familiar with the tarot symbols, the tower. That is what she envisioned was going to happen. It's just a tower, things falling,
Yeah.
but then there's a reconstruction.
Hmm. As long as someone's not, it's gonna say jumping out of the building or falling out. Safety.
Yeah, with that symbol. Yeah. And then somebody else was saying that last time Taurus, I mean Mars and Uranus was in Taurus was around the 1942, which was the time when the Second World War was ending,
Mm,
and there was concentration camps. Um, there was some in Europe for Jewish people, some for Japanese in the States.
mhm.
Um, I don't know about it. I I think that yeah, some of the Japanese people were not treated very well. I didn't know about the camps,
Yeah.
but also there was like the surprising nuclear bombs, and after that there was some changes in agriculture.
Mm,
So it seems like we're standing to be independent in some way. There's
mm,
some confidence about something that needs to happen.
mhm. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Yeah, we have that Aries North node that is constantly asking us to step into our authentic self. Uh, but
Mm-hmm.
this like Capricorn full moon and all the energy that's going on, it's like that breaking apart and asking us to break open to the real us, right? To let go of any of those old, outdated beliefs, those systems and structures within ourselves that need to have some final dismantling going on so we can like enter into those new beginnings, right? We can enter
Yep.
into places where,
Using the cracks to open it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really like what you said with authenticity. I
Mhm,
think that's what I'm struggling with my house in communication. I don't want to follow my thoughts if they are not authentic.
mm,
I think I'm really challenged by that.
mm,
And also like looking at the history of psychology,
mhm,
it feels like the tendency is for the therapist to be more authentic and being one on one with the other person more.
yeah,
You know, the old system was more of um, the how do you call it, the power
yeah,
difference.
yeah. More of a power
And
type.
so professionals were the ones who knew, and the clients would just follow. They were told what to do. Like
Mhm,
there's some of that still, like coaching and when professionals go to families' homes and they are coaching them what to do all the way
mhm,
instead of having some input from the family and them finding the way.
mhm. Totally. Ah, these times, Mariela.
So there's nice changes, I think, coming up.
Yeah, but the process is getting through the
Mm,
stuff.
the ending of stuff that doesn't serve anymore.
Yeah. So the endings can be super uncomfortable, but I keep, even though when I'm kind of in this like confusion, uncomfortable state, I'm just like, okay, 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 okay. How long? How much longer? Like it's going to end. But then when I hear about friends or people I care about who are like, this is the thing I'm dealing with, and I'm like, amazing. You know, the growth that's going to come out of that is fantastic. It's like, I'm sorry. So lots of growth coming. And it has been happening, right? We've been experiencing it already, and it's been so rich, but it's intense. So I feel like that idea of rest. Um, oh gosh, what are the books? But rest as activism, I think is what it's called. Um, the fact that we take rests and we pause and we stop is a way to break away from the system because the system doesn't want us to be too, connected to ourselves or disconnected from, you know, the cog in the wheel kind of scenario. So, yeah, interesting times. But Mariella, you had pulled some really cool cards.
I know. We want to share the cards that I got.
Mhm,
We got a lot of insight from
mhm.
it together. Um, First, I want to show you the blessing we got this time was it, which is journey.
Oh,
So we need some blessings through this journey. Yeah.
mhm.
That everything is going to go smooth and it's going to be light. And then the myth figure that comes, it's Apollo.
Okay.
He's very strong, but his meaning in this card is clarity. So that's what's going to we're going to be clear after a while of what's happening, I think. Everything's going to be clear. And so with the tea leaf cards, we got some interesting cards. So first the gable, involvement with the law.
Gavel.
Gavel, thank you. You see, I'm learning so much. And so the gavel, it's something to do with the law, but we felt like it was also like time to say this is it or put
Mhm.
order.
Yeah.
And then the purse, it's it's the first card that came up about money, like take care of the finances, something happening with the finances. Enough is enough with that.
Yeah.
And then a throne, so someone in a power position.
Mm,
So we will see. Like I don't know who, but something's coming up with that. And then a skull, hidden secrets that can harm you.
mhm.
So it seems like there's secrets around this throne
Mm,
and financial stuff, and people are just saying enough, right?
yeah.
And then there's a broken bridge. And you know what I think, Alex?
What?
The broken bridge is like people are not taking things anymore, just like that. So they broke the bridge.
Okay.
But we were saying before also like the polarization, right?
Oh, yeah.
One side is not communicating with the other side.
Mhm.
And there's like a storm.
Yeah.
Then we got November,
Mhm.
well, and the haystack.
Mhm.
You can say, Alex, what we were thinking about that.
Yeah, well, wealth kind of taps into that Taurian energy that we've been talking about, that idea of the wealth values, beliefs um, around what we have or don't have. And then November was the next one. And it sounds like November would be the month where this would be taking place, whether it's shifting our relationship with money or having extra money come in. November seems to be the time where we're able to sink in and do these kinds of things. But the haystack makes me think that, oh, there's going to be a needle amongst the hay. So you're going to have to find something really close um, or a little bit more connected or something.
Yeah, and Alex was saying maybe it would be good to just burn the whole hay to find the needle, and
Yeah.
then we'll find it.
Hmm.
That would be interesting to know if there's a needle. And then we got the scales after that. So after November, which they have flowers in it. There's balance, right? Feels very nice. Archway. So it's almost like the bridge was fixed and it's beautiful. It also has some flowers.
Hmm.
So there's connection again, balance connection,
Hmm.
and the door, which means opportunities are waiting for you. Of
Yeah.
course, when everything goes down, lots of opportunities come up.
Yes. Yeah. One door closes, another opens, right? That saying. it's true if we're kind of like actually open to looking and seeing what else is out there. Yeah. I haven't actually pulled any of the cards yet, but I have the light seers. So what I loved about your cards is, well, first of all, I feel like I'm getting used to you using those cards sometimes. But what I really like about them is like the ones that you pulled, it kind of leads back to some of those things we've been talking about, is that Taurian energy with like that money, but that Uranus conjunct is kind of like the explosive and changing. But people may have heard of um like this time, these moments where it is time for those in big positions to be kind of cut down. And so, seeing those skulls with the money or after the money, um, also really felt like fitting for the time. Very fitting. So I have um, one for, this is just going to be for the whole of June. And then this one, okay, so here's the whole of June.
The tower.
It is. Oh God. Okay.
But for July, not June, right?
Yes. Well, if you look, one thing that's kind of neat is it kind of looks like a haystack. Just gonna say that's wow. Okay. Tower. And then for this conjunct, this movement here, Page of Pentacles. So there's like that balance going on there. Needing to find that balance, kind of similar to those scales you pulled, right?
Mhm.
And then the tower, because oh, someone's there for you. Just about done. Yeah, I love when we can look at these cards. So this is the Pentacle. And the Pentacle again is some of that Taurian energy, that earthy energy. Um, as it is, that is what Pentacles do represent.
It's the coin again.
Yeah, it's the coin.
It reminds me of the three last cards.
Yeah,
The November,
exactly.
the haystack, and the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one and this one. Oops. Right?
Yeah. And when you originally showed me those cards, it went wealth and then it went November and then the haystack.
Yes.
So it made me think like, yeah, November is going to
They
be.
are confirming.
Mhm. And then it's interesting because we were also talking about the tower, like the tower energy. Remember we were talking about that? And I
Yeah,
made
yeah,
the off bad joke about people not falling out or something. Like not like,
yeah.
tower is what's taking place, especially in the States. But I'm like, yeah, but the people are the ones who get hurt. And
Well, the ones on top will have a bigger fall.
yeah, exactly. So yeah. Oh, I love when our cards speak together. I mean, they usually do. They usually have like a really weird resonance that takes place. Um, but we have this beautiful Capricorn moon that's also powerful. I feel like we're just getting hit with like power and power and power and power. Like powerful hits of literally we are being asked to let go of the old of the old systems. Oh, sorry, say that again. Didn't hear you.
Just let it go.
Yeah, let it go. If only it was always that easy, but it's one of those things where you either let it go or it will kind of put you in a situation where you will let it go, which is a little more uncomfortable. But whichever way you want to go, you can go that way. So you can always look at where Taurus is in your chart to kind of see how these pieces are really affecting what life area. Um, yeah. And that was something that me and Mariela talked about, her third house, my fifth. So that's why we kind of shared some of the things we did about where we're at and what's been kind of coming up for us, which is fascinating that it falls within that. We like to use or I use anyway, the pattern for their apps. But they recently did an update that I'm not jiving with at all. Is there any other cards that you want to pull or anything like that, or any other pieces of information that you want to share?
Just like thinking of Apollo and what it means, but I'm just like trying to put it together and not sure. But it just says you may have just experienced a period of confusion or change in your life that left you with a feeling of being up in the air, not quite adjusted to the transitions that took place, and perhaps not quite sure of where you stand. Apollo comes now to bring light and order to your new life. This is a good time to write, make plans, and establish new routines.
Hmm. Yeah. When you showed me the picture of Apollo, it made me think of like the winged messenger. Um, yeah, right. So I see that like airy energy.
Um,
So that kind of Gemini energy arises for me. But if Apollo was Apollo the original Cupid, because there's a lot of that energy taking place right now that Venus has gone out of its like holding place from the morning star, holding place to evening star now.
yeah,
So many
interesting.
trends are taking place, and it's funny because I feel like we keep talking about it, and I'm like, is this real? Is it like just this intense? Because, you know, I feel like remember when we used to watch Palmer Gregory and even Braca,
Yeah,
but
I still watch Pam.
yeah, so do I. But it wasn't as intense back then or didn't feel as intense.
No,
And so now it's just like everything is like so much. It's a lot.
yeah,
Hmm.
we're in exciting times
Very exciting
and
time.
we can build whatever we want at
Hmm.
any point in time.
Hmm.
Actually, Pamela says all the time that we're not bound to what the stars do or
Mm.
how they appear in the
Yeah.
sky or what influence they are giving to the moment, but we always have the power to decide.
Mm. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always have the power to decide. Hmm. Yeah. You. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you, Mariela, for being able to carve out this time. She's been super busy with kind of
Yeah.
work, and we've had, was it the Euro Cup or was it a World Cup or
It was Euro Cup and how do you call it in English? Because it's America Cup, but
Mm.
the continent America.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very cool. I didn't realize.
Yeah, and there was Wimbledon too.
Mm.
So tennis
Yeah, nice.
was all happening at the same time. It was very exciting. It's
Hmm.
always exciting to watch soccer for me.
Well, the Olympics are coming, so that's going to be an interesting international stage. But
Yeah.
this is the first year that there is the equal amount of women to male athletes, female to male athletes,
Oh, that's so cool.
equality within that. So that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So everyone, um, find that balance.
Yeah, we're going to find the balance actually. We don't
Yes.
have to find it, it's going to come.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess we don't have to find it or even go
We need
looking
to
for it,
put order.
knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
allowing it to arise and come and support us. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. We will see you again in a few weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.